Morning, family. It's Tasha, Mom Bear Prepping. So this morning we're gonna get into it because I feel like I need to address this because one, I've been getting questions on the side. Nobody's really asked me, I don't think, in actual chats, in comments yet, but I'm getting a lot of side emails and side conversations of concern and, hey, why aren't you talking about this? That type of thing. So what I want to talk about is World War III and why you should be concerned and how do you even possibly prepare for something like this, okay? And I'm getting folks asking me, hey, what can I do to prepare? What can I do? Because there's so much information out there and so many people, several people in our community talking about this right now. And so the concern is this viable? Is this something I should worry about? Do you think that anything could happen? What do you do for you and your family to prepare for, the possibilities of what could happen? Should we go to war with certain countries, right? We've been to war before, but it becomes certain countries, I think, have a notoriety when it comes to, people understand that if wars happen with certain countries, okay, China, Russia, Korea, that it's not going to be, maybe these baby type wars that we've been in the past. This will be, an all out craziness, and the outcomes that could happen could be detrimental to our nation, okay, to our nation, to multiple nations. And that's kind of where I got the name of the thumbnail that I used for this video, you guys. So I want to walk you through why you should be concerned, right? And that will explain why you're seeing all these videos and you're seeing all these people discuss this concern. You're obviously seeing a little bit of it on the news media, not a whole lot, but you're seeing people talk about it because it is concerning. And so I'm going to tell you and kind of walk you through some of the things that are kind of alarming, and when you throw them all together, why this could be something to be concerned with. And then two, I'm going to walk you through things that literally my family does to prepare for the day that any of this nasty stuff comes knocking at our door. Okay, so some things to be thinking about. Okay, so right now things are not, and I've discussed this a little bit in my past videos over the last couple weeks. China is not in a good way right now with their coal system. They have panic buying, they're rationing food, massive blackouts, and that's not stopping, that's not going away. Okay, on top of what's going on with them in their economy and that big company that shut down, Evergrande or whatever. So things are just not doing very well in China right now. And then when you foster that or add that to the fact that they keep flying over Taiwan and all of that airspace, and they keep making it known that's theirs, and they're making a point, right, to do that. That's a problem, okay? Another reason why I think that is overall a problem is that countries have a way of, when stuff is going really, really bad in your own country, that's when war pops off, okay? The fastest way to get people to come together as a people, to be one, all of that is war. To make a problem with money and economic concerns and issues go away, you do that with war, okay? And so that is all concerning to me. You couple that with the concerns and stuff that's happening in the UK right now in regards to their own issues with gas shortages, food shortages, panic buying, right? And that is an ally of ours, and it's just very, it's like all of it is coming together to be a very, I don't know even what the word to say, but it's like literally all the wrong things are happening right now, and none of them are good, and when you put them all together, it's not good. Think about this too. I've seen so many channels talk about this over the last few days that I'm just inundated with just so many thoughts and stuff. But one channel was mentioning, where do we get all our stuff from? So much stuff that we consume here in the United States, that we buy, that we purchase, comes from China. And, you know, he made a good point that, you know, when you're at war with somebody, you're not going to be getting stuff from them, okay? So imports would stop, right? We would stop importing, you know, or even getting, you know, any of these imports, whether that's food, supplies, whatever that is, that stuff would stop. It would halt, okay? There wouldn't be tariffs and things like that. It just wouldn't come in, period, okay? And that's a huge problem that we would have to deal with, okay? Second of all, we wouldn't be exporting, okay? We wouldn't have the money to be exporting and sending stuff out and trying to sell to other people, when now we might be concerned with, we need to keep stuff. Everything that is made in this country needs to stay in this country, for its own people, okay? It's just not a very good situation. And then when you say that, and the possibilities of that happening in a time where we are already, you know, on the edge of our own panic buying happening, our own food shortages, our own shortage supplies of these containers off of all the coasts. And so when you add these other concerns to that, it's just brewing, okay? And then I would say another concern too is, you know, we're all kind of on our, we're all on the edge, just waiting for the panic buying to start, because we know it's going to come, because when the rest of the folks start to understand and actually start to see what's happening, you know, the media is talking about it a little bit, right? They are starting to give a little bit to the public as far as, hey, there is some concerns for food shortages. There is concerns. Get your stuff now. This could affect everybody. This could affect people through the winter time, right? They're talking about it. But, you know, as you know, if people continue to see stuff, food and stuff on their shelves, and they're like hearing, you know, us wackadoodles talk about this stuff, but then they go to the store and there's plenty of food and they're fine and they're fine and they're fine. But the day that that happens, when all of a sudden it's not fine, because it will be quick, you guys, it will be like a light switch on, and then within a couple hours it will be gone. And what will come next is then light bulbs will come on, and then not only will it be the food in the stores, now everybody's going to go on a run for everything else that has to do with preparedness, everything else that has to do with grid down, with water, with whatever supplies that they could possibly get their hands on, they're going to get on. And if any kind of war starts looming, that's like tenfold, okay? And then what you have to worry about is chaos and, you know, dangers and crime and all this stuff going on if any of this stuff ensues. And so, you know, it is worth having the conversations. I don't know if you need to be totally panicked and thinking like, oh, we're about to have World War III. It's just like a few months ago, back when Russia was playing their mind games and they were on the border of Ukraine, and everybody and their mother was talking about, oh boy, they're making moves, like somebody's gonna get froggy, right? And everybody was talking about, oh, this could be World War III, this could be World War III. But I tell you what, it didn't happen, but it was close. And what's crazy is the American people will never know the amount of times that we've been close to wars that never happened, right? That they'll never know about, okay? But it happens more than you think. Just know that, okay? So it's not something to really be panicked about, because, you know, stuff happens. I mean, this is the world that we live in, and things are pretty crazy, and for me, I'm uncomfortable because I see the writing on the wall. I see all these things, and I think, what a horrible time for us to be engaged in anything, because of everything else that's happening around it. It's like the worst time ever. It would be the worst time ever, okay, because of the other stuff that would happen, and would happen fast, okay? So now let's get into, that's kind of the why you're hearing so many channels talk about this. Let's talk about the what you can do. So I wrote down some stuff. So of course, the ever looming food thing. So stack food. You're going to continue to stack food. You're going to continue to stack water. I think we need to revisit water, because we've been pushing food so much. Food. But you need to be getting your water containers, which aren't the easiest to find, you guys. I've been looking lately for more water containers, and it's getting harder and harder to find them, okay? So somebody was listening and has been getting water containers. So you need to continue to buy your water containers, continue to get water put in them and store it up while you have water coming out of the tap. So food, and then water, because just like panic buying when it starts, it's not just food, it's other stuff, and water is one of the number one things that's going to go, okay? Next thing I said was get all the grid down things right. We know blackouts are coming. Blackouts are happening in China. Blackouts are happening in the UK. And the thing is that over the last week we've seen the snowball, right? It started with both of them. It started with some shortages in the UK. China was already on the blackouts because China don't like to tell us anything that's going on, so we don't really find out until it's already happening, right? They both were already doing panic buying. China was first, then UK was started doing panic buying, and now UK is finally to the part where the blackouts is now a thing. So you can see the writing on the wall if you pay attention to some of these things. And if you think that this stuff is not going to come here, you're sadly mistaken. So what I would say is get your grid down stuff, because again, when panic buying starts, the next stuff to go is all the preparedness stuff. People get smart, they get on Amazon, they get on these websites, and they're going to start clearing. You're not going to be able to find fuel cans. You're not going to be able to find generators and other emergency preparedness, batteries, you name it. Okay, so you have to get ahead of that stuff now, because it is a natural progression that happens every single time. Okay, the problem this time is there is no supplies to replace it eventually. Okay, so that's why it's more important now than ever to actually get ahead of it. Next thing I have is get your entire family's P100 mask and get your entire family's your gas mask. You need to get your gas mask and get your CBRN filters, okay? You need to get that. Get your canisters. Get the whole suit, get everything ready to be able to keep your family as safe as possible for any kind of nuclear attack, biological, chemical attack. Must have. Even if you have to migrate, you have to migrate with suits on. You've got to have that stuff. So you need to invest in your gear, okay? Next thing I said was build your Faraday cages. So again, there's multiple ways that an enemy could engage with us, okay? It's very I think the reason why we are so concerned about any type of war with certain countries is because we know certain countries have certain ways that they could attack us, like EMP bombs, regular bombs, nukes, different things, right? And so you have to basically get gear to be able to battle whatever it is they might get us. And so something simple would be an EMP or something like that. So you've got to protect your gear as much as you can with a Faraday, but be thinking, enemy stuff, war stuff, right? So if something happens, you have stuff in your Faraday cages. Don't immediately just pull everything out, you guys, in case the enemy hits again. I mean, that's how I would do it if I was an enemy. Somebody mentioned that on my page before. Thank you so much. I agree with that 100%. So you need to be doing the things to get ready as much as possible. Next thing I said was, and I think this is very, very important, is learning your migration maps, meaning, okay, that majority of the stuff you're going to dig in and you're going to stay home. You may or may not have another bug out location, but you need to know where are you migrating to if certain things happen. There's only very few things that have to happen in the home to make you flee completely. A fire, a complete devastated fire, okay, you would have to migrate. Where are you migrating to? Is it family? Is it a bug out location? Where are you going? And then a nuclear warhead. Something is dropped and you're having to flee. Where are you going? Okay, and then be thinking, Pinball mentioned this on his video, be thinking about where do you go, because you don't want to migrate towards another possible target of the enemy when it comes to them trying to destroy our defensive locations, okay? So thinking about where you would go, who do you know, okay? And then the last thing I have is fortifying your home, because if any of this stuff ensues, if war happens, if blackouts massive blackouts happen, if panic buying and other stuff starts getting panic buyed, any of that stuff happens, you guys, crime is going to go through the roof. People are going to get desperate. If people can't find food and water, they're going to be trying to break into anywhere that they can to get that stuff. And so if you do not fortify your home, protect your home, get ready to defend your home, I don't know what else to tell you, because that is going to happen. Do not be a soft target. Okay, make it difficult for somebody to just try to break in and think they're going to take stuff. Okay, it's going to be some very, very hard times, and it's a hard topic, and it's a topic. It's why, to be honest, I don't talk about it a lot, because I choose to talk about it here and there, sprinkled into videos, instead of dedicating a whole video of like, hey, how do you prepare for World War III, because it's a little like in your face. But so many people are talking about it that I'm getting a lot of traffic and questions on the side. So I figured, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and knock out this video for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously, it's a little bit of gloom and doom. I'm not sitting here talking about, World War III is about to happen. I'm telling you that there are some concerning signs. There's some concerning stuff happening around the world to just take note of. And then there's always stuff that you can do to prepare to get ahead of anything. And so continue to do those things. Continue to get the things, do the things, continue to prepare, continue to stack water, really concentrate on water. And let's take it day by day. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.